Hi, you just saw example 1 for Doozy UI. This is just a quick introduction to how this example was made, how it works, and I'm going to give you a few pointers where to look to better understand how you can create something like that. It's not hard, but there are a lot of things that you should be aware of and you should understand how to use. So let's look at it. How was it created and what makes it tick? So we're gonna start with decomposing everything that we see here in this scene. This is a very simple scene. I know it looks fancy, but it's really not. It's basically a set of tabs and a few images, and that's it. Nothing out of the ordinary, although you saw animations and sounds and so on. So let's see how it's composed, and let's try to deconstruct it and see what makes it tick. How does it work? So right away we have a background. This is just so we have something behind when we switch from one slide to the other. It just looks nicer. Then we have a tab layout, and this is our tab layout. This is everything. Then we have a flow controller. This is not a visible component, but is responsible for handling the flow. Basically, it controls the music and it tells the dancers when to start dancing, actually playing, and when to stop. You're going to see in a few minutes how that works. And then we have some audio sources, your basic audio sources. Let's start with the music because this is the thing that makes everything work. So here I have an audio source. It has a rec transform, the audio source with a audio clip referenced, set to loop, play on awake is disabled, and that's pretty much it. We're not gonna go into using an audio mixer and so on for this example because we wanted to make it as simple as possible. So how do we control this audio source? Well, with two signals. We have two signal listeners. One starts the music, this one, and you will see this signal listener listens for anything that is sent via a stream that has the category music and the name reactor. So basically listens for a ping, or you can call it a trigger. And when that happens, it just triggers play for this audio source. There's one more listener. So this is the play one, and this is the stop one. All right. And here, this listener, on the other hand, listens for a ping or a trigger on a stream that has the category music and the name stop. So basically, you can imagine a stream as a radio channel, and whenever something is sent to that channel, for example, a ping or a trigger, something like that, well, it will trigger audio source stop. So this is a way to control your audio source or whatever else you want with some simple triggers. These triggers can be sent from your code or maybe from the flow graph, which this is what we did in this particular example. And we have the same setup for all the other sounds. So for the signals, we have another sound here in the audio source, and we're listening for, so in order to play this audio source, we're listening for a different, on a different stream that has the category music and the name signals. Of course, the stop will be on a common stream. So you will see here that everything that changes, look here, when I select the other ones, you will see that only this changes. And of course the music here. Let me move my head actually here. Actually, let me get out of the way. So just look here. and you'll see the audio source changes the audio clip, and this. All the other things are identical. So this is how we play the music, how we play and how we stop it. So how do we send these signals to start and to stop the music? Well, this is done via a flow graph. We have a flow controller that activates and controls, of course, a flow graph. And let me double click on it and open it. And let me explain. Actually, let me also add the inspector, if I can see it. Oh, this is where it is. All right, I'm gonna move my head out of the way for now. So this is the thing that makes everything work. Actually, let me get back here. So this is the thing that makes everything work. We have some portal nodes. These are the ones. And let's look at the first one. And what these nodes do is they listen for when a UI toggle becomes on. This one in particular listens for a UI toggle that has the category tab and the name reactor, and it triggers only when that becomes on. What does that mean? Well, here, like I said, we have some buttons and we have some containers. The buttons are these ones, and the containers, the content is this, right? So let's go at this particular tab. It's a UI toggle, basically. And you will see that it has the category tab right here. Let me move my head. And the name reactor. And these are important because this is a way for us to identify the tab, this particular tab, for example, this particular toggle. And when this becomes on, the flow graph will react to it. And let's come back here. Let's move it like so. All right. So we're back here. So when that particular UI toggle becomes on, this will become the active node. Because this node doesn't do anything, it just takes over the flow, then jumps here via this connection. And here you have a signal to stop the music stop. Remember that all the audio clips are listening for this particular signal. So basically they will stop the music, and then we just start the music for the container that we want. So we start the particular music that we want. And it's the same thing for all of these. Nothing else. You can do it without the graph for this particular example, by the way. But we just wanted to show you how you can send two signals. One stops the music and the other starts the music. So let me check here. All right. So this is what these do here. This is just the same node copied over and over again. We can even say signal, and this is say stop music. If we need to write something here just as a note, or maybe we can say signal stop music. You can also do that. So it's up to you how you make your graph. So we click the button, this gets triggered and then jumps here. You click the signals, the signals tab, it becomes on, this gets triggered and this gets triggered. And let me show you as a live example, basically. So let's come here. Let's put node right here. Let's move the inspector here because we don't need to see it. All right. Let's look at the flow controller. And now I'm going to enter play mode and show you exactly how this works. All right. As you can see, we're in the reactor part. So the reactor music is playing. this one. All right, if I stop it, there you go. Let's go to the signals, and you see it jumped. Let's go to Node, and let's go to the UI menu. That's it. That's everything you need to see. That's how this works. And you can jump to any one of them, however you want. So that's how the music is played. And now I'm going to show you how we are triggering show and hide for the containers for each tab. This is another way of adding a new tab, by the way. So let's come here and let's check out this particular container. All right. So this is a UI container, no name, no anything, that has a show and a hide animation. A move, basically. It moves from the bottom and then it moves to the top. And its corresponding tab, or UI toggle, has some callbacks here. And let's check out what they do. So when on toggle on, so when the toggle becomes on, it triggers show on this container. Check out that I'm pinging it. Yeah, it triggers the show command. When this toggle becomes off, it triggers hide. And that's it for all the other toggles. So basically you have your toggle and your container and you're done. There is one more component that makes everything work. That whenever you click a toggle, the other one needs to turn off. Or depending if I'm on the reactor, let's say, and I click Node, something needs to turn this off and trigger the other animations. And this is why we have a special component called UIToggleGroup. This is the one that helps create this particular tab layout. So you will notice that every single UI toggle, look here, is connected to a toggle group. All right, so I'm gonna select them, check it out. The same toggle group, this one. And this has a control mode. You have 4 types of control. You have passive, and this is usually used to be able for lists to select all, deselect all, and that's it. It doesn't enforce anything. You have one toggle on, and if you can read there, let me zoom a bit. It says only one toggle can be on at any given time. And this allows for all toggles to be off. This isn't what you need. One toggle on enforced. This is the one that is the normal one, or the one that should be used for tab layouts. So one toggle can be on at any given time, and one toggle will be forced on at all times. What this means is that if you click another toggle than the one that is currently selected, the previous selected one will get disabled, will get turned off, and the new one will get turned on. So this is the one that does everything. And of course, any toggle on, yeah, it allows you to have more than one toggles on, which is a nonsense for this particular use case. So let's come here. One toggle on enforced. All right. Let's enter play mode. Yeah, so this is how, let me also show the flow. This is how everything works. It's really not that complicated. Yeah. Now let's dive in a bit and see what's with the dancers, what's with the micro animations, because I know that you might think that it's something special. It is in a way, because it is a frame by frame animation. But there are simple images. So let's deconstruct, let's say this one. Yeah, this one should be good enough. What do we have here? We have a background. Actually, let me disable the rect mask. All right. So we have a background. Then we have a texture overlay. They just go like that. It's that simple. You can even change the color if you want to. And you get, let's make it, I don't know, yellow. Yeah, something like that. Yellowish green. Yeah, don't judge me. There you go. Then we have a logo. Let's zoom in on it. And here we have some dancers. What are these? They're just some simple, let's also copy the color. So they're just some images, nothing else. And they have SpriteAnimators. And these are the ones that do the magic. Let's undo everything here. Just so we can, come on, get back here. All right. So let's look at the dancers. Let's look at this one, for example, this particular one. So it has an image. Let me kill everything here. And it has a SpriteAnimator. And here we can see the sprites. Can you see them? Yeah. So these are the ones that get animated. And you can also select a different sprite. Yeah. So basically you set a number of sprites in the animator, and it will cycle through the frames as you've set it up. For this particular animation, let's check it out. It starts playing instantly for 2 seconds, and it's an infinite loop. So basically every 2 seconds it goes through all the frames. That's it. Let me show you the frames so you can see how they look like. They are simple PNGs. And let's go to micro animations, dancers, dancer 1. I'm gonna make this bigger. And let's also see a preview. So the dancing animation is basically frame by frame animation, and this is how it looks. I'm just previewing them. I'm going the other way around. And that's it. And we add the color from the image. To make it from white, you have this particular color, just so it looks better. And that's pretty much it. There's one more thing. How do we trigger the animation? And like I said, the music also does that. So when we send from the graph, we send the signal to stop the music. This one stops the animation. It says the progress at 0, so at the first frame. It also has a show and hide animation for a custom animation that we're using, but that's not important for this. And when the music starts playing, well, it plays this animation. I'm gonna let me see. I'm gonna mute the music from Unity so it doesn't drive you insane. And I'm gonna show you how the animation works. All right, let me mute the music. Unity sound. All right. So I think now it should be better. Remember, the music is playing in the background. I just muted it. Actually, let me leave the music. I'm gonna stop it from the audio source right here. All right. All right. So let's look at the dancers. At this one in particular. So basically this is your animation, and it gets played every time the signal is sent. Let me show you actually the signals. So let's look at the signals console, and let's put it where we should put it here. Yeah, this should be all right. Let me also stop this music. Let's stop all the music while we're in play mode. All right, so you will notice here that we've just sent some pings. We've sent a ping for stop music, and we have 20 receivers. These are your audio sources, and of course the dancers that they all stop. And then I've sent a ping for signals music, and we have 5 receivers. And we can also count them. So we have the music, so this is 1, and the dancers 2, 3, 4, 5. All right. If we disable the listeners, and let's do just that. So I'm going to disable the dancers from hearing this, the first listener. And we come back here. You will notice that they didn't appear because they didn't listen for that particular signal. Let's enable the one from the top. Let's enable this signal. Let's go back. And now we have a dancer here. So that's it. It's really a matter of sending some signals and triggering wherever you need to trigger. Like I said, there is also a show and hide animation that I'm playing forward and reverse. So this is a show and this is a reverse. This is just so it looks nicer. Yeah. And so let's reverse and play forward. And of course we have the play animation. And we can stop it, play it. We can change the speed, let's say 0.5. And now you'll see that it goes insane. Or maybe let's say 6 seconds. Or 10 seconds. And this is how it looks. Yeah. Let's go back to 2. And let's enable the other 2 dancers. And we enable them by allowing them to react to the signal. All right. So let's come here and then return. And there you go. This is how it works. So basically, this is how this particular example was made. You can check out how it listens for signals, how it triggers the containers. It's not complicated. There are a lot of things that are interconnected, but once you understand how they work, it's really a piece of cake. And you too can create interesting layouts like this one. It's really not that hard. And yeah, that's it. There are also some small animations, for example, for the tab. You will notice that it has a UI container animator. So basically, when that container is shown, it will play this show animation. And this is a move. It just moves the tab. If you'll notice, let me see how I can show you this. Yeah, something like that. I have a preview here to see what you're seeing, so I can better show you how this works. All right, so you'll notice that this goes up here. Let me shut down the music so you don't go crazy. All right, just stop that. So let me show you what I mean. So basically there's a UI container animation for show and for hide for this particular UI container. Come on. So if I hide this, check out, this goes down. If I show it, this goes up. The same goes for all the others. So this is the show and the hide animation. We reset and we show. If I were to say it, okay, you should go down. Actually, let's also do something like that. So let's say rotate 20 degrees. All right, so go like that and check out what happens here. You just, yeah, you can also do that. Or maybe let's disable rotate. Let's move -8. Yeah. So this connection part, it just moves the tab a bit up. There are small things that brings this example together. And yeah, that's it. That's it for this particular example. It's not hard, but you need to be aware of how it works and where to look. So you have your graphical things and everything that is related to music, and for the playing of animation is done with that particular, where's Node? Come on. With that particular UI flow. So this one, yeah. And that's it. This was example 1. Thank you very much. See you in the next video.